What's up guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Evan Brown and you are at Autohändler. We are a special interest car dealership located right outside Portland, Oregon. This is our creative office. We've spent the last year preparing this place in order to bring you guys content. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of today's video, I wanted to give you guys a little virtual tour of the place. We have worked so hard curating all the art and furniture in here, and any direction that you point a camera, it is guaranteed to deliver. So without further ado, go ahead and take a look around, and when we get back, I will go ahead and give you guys the rundown on what we got planned today.
Go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast. Go deep, I OD on them. Apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500 degrees on them. 500 degrees. Go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast. Go deep, I OD on them. Apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500 degrees on them. 500 degrees. Countdown, levitate. Going up, elevate. Watch me demonstrate. On time, never late. I grind, celebrate. No pump, fake, hesitate. I've been scoring every day. Champagne, Perrier. Since 9-3, been in the box, now I'm stepping up to home. Like straight out the sand lot, now I'm plotting on the globe. I work hard, I show love, that karma steady growing. Got this far, I go hard, let God take control. I was starving skinny, now my weight up, got no energy for haters. See you trying, see you later. I'm shooting for the stars, need no laser beam blowing like the greatest, but it's one who's always greater.
So I'm going to take you guys on a little walk around of the inside of the building, show you kind of what we have going on in terms of projects, a brief explanation of all the cars inside, and what you guys can look forward to in terms of content over the next couple of months. I've got a huge deadline coming up, and I want to show you guys what I'm going to try to accomplish between now and August 7th. So this Hellrock 328IS is actually owned by my partner Tim. We have a full build for this car within these walls. We have wheel faces, over fenders, every nut, bolt, and bushing required to make this car into a drift car. We've got a full suspension built for it, and it is a super clean example. Honestly, if this car was not as clean as it was, we would probably have already started the build process, but it just looks so good just the way that it is sitting inside that we're waiting until we can find time to really just like transform the car in a single weekend or a single week and not end up tearing this thing apart, leaving it on jack stands for a month or two. And to do a full build on this car is going to take us a little bit of time, and right now with everything that we have going on this month, it's just really difficult to actually buckle down and get it done. So this area of the building is basically just a general shipping and receiving area for all the parts that we sell. We have a bunch of aero parts that we make for E36 and soon to be E46. This is actually a set of our side skirts. There's a set of our rear over fenders over there. We just wanted to have some general table space, something where we can lay tools and do stickers and packing and all that other random stuff that it takes to get these parts and other things out to customers. So this is just a basic conference lounge chill area of the building, just a place to hang out, basically chat. We had a video out here. It looks nice, it feels nice, it's super comfortable. There's a bunch of really cool little knickknacks and other things that we've gathered for the building, and yeah, it's a generally nice place to be. This is the main creative office. It's still in progress. It's the newest room in the building. We haven't quite finished furnishing it yet. It's basically just going to be an editing suite and a place for us to sit here, share creative ideas. We actually have another office in the building that's a sales office where we're going to be handling all the dealership stuff. But this, we just want it to be like a really close, intimate environment where we can just sit in here, close the door, knock out a bunch of videos or photos, do a bunch of design stuff for our merchandise and whatnot, and yeah, basically just make it really comfortable and chill. This white E36 is actually my personal drift car, and for the last year and a half, it's been S52 powered. I was really happy with the power plant. It never gave me any trouble until the last lap of the last day of Drift Week 3, where it popped a head gasket. And so currently, this car is without an engine, like at all. So rather than repairing the head gasket and reinstalling it back into the car, I was looking for just about any excuse to add a little bit of power to this thing, just in the 300 wheel range, nothing crazy. just a little bit of extra power to make the car a little bit more athletic and a little bit more aggressive to drive. What we ended up doing was pull the S52, we sent it off to our mechanic Keaton to have it repaired, and it actually lives a new life inside my girlfriend's drift car, this Montreal Blue 328 IS. This thing is literally like a coat of paint away from being perfect. It has all of our aero parts on it. They're all fresh out of the box, no trimming. They look really, really good. We just finished the swap like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and we're just trying to find time to get this thing out to an event because it is literally ready to go. We cannot say the same about my car, unfortunately, but luckily I have an LS1 engine that I just picked up actually 10 miles from my house for a really good price. Not the iron block, it's not a truck engine, it's an actual all aluminum 5.7. I got it for $1,500, fully dressed without an alternator or power steering pump, but everything else. So I'm really excited about that. Engines don't install themselves though, and it takes more than an engine to do an engine swap. A bunch of my sponsors tapped in and brought me a bunch of parts to get this done. I wanted to use the original transmission for the E36 with the LS. I basically didn't want to have to re-engineer the entire car, and I'm not going for a ton of power. ZFs are super light, they're super strong, and they work with everything else with the BMW really well. I ended up getting this PMC Motorsport adapter kit and the flywheel, ACT clutch, a Sachs pressure plate, and a few other bits and pieces to make the whole system work. That basically connects the engine to the differential. I still need to connect the engine to the car. I hit up Sicky Manufacturing and basically bought their entire catalog. So I actually have these 2 boxes that I have not yet opened, containing just about everything that I need to complete this swap. What do you say we open them?
Let's do it.
So I don't know if you guys have ever tried to do like a major engine swap on a timeline or a deadline. It's some nerve-wracking shit, I'll tell you. So if my plans are accurate, between everything here, I'm literally going to be a power steering pump, an alternator, a wiring harness, and ECU away from making this swap done. So I think I'll be able to get it done. All right, so you got oil pickup tube. What else we got in here? A couple of t-shirts, thank you, Sicky. Set of engine mounts. Let's take a look at these things. Damn, all right. This is some nice looking stuff, wow. This is a power steering line kit. This is just as important as any other part of an engine swap. We basically have to make the LS power steering pump interface with the BMW steering rack. And rather than going to a line shop or Home Depoting it more or less, it's really nice to find companies that will make kits like this, because then you don't have to do any guesswork and any backyard engineering in order to make these swaps happen. And I know a lot of people will say that, yeah, you can save some money if you make them yourself or whatever, but this just makes things super easy. All the fittings are the right fittings, all the line lengths are the right lengths. You don't have to do any measuring, and you can just basically bolt it on as if it were stock, which is really awesome. This is another part that is necessary for E36 LS swap. It's a low profile steering shaft, because the stock BMW engine doesn't have an exhaust manifold on the driver's side, so they didn't engineer the steering column to have to clear a header. And the OEM steering column and the universal joint for the intermediate shaft is just too large to fit through a set of exhaust manifolds for an LS. So this is a custom setup that slims everything down enough just to make everything work perfectly. A remote oil filter relocation kit, which is super awesome. I actually used to have a 1J swapped Cressida that had these really ghetto engine mounts, and the oil filter, you could not take it off without removing the engine mount. They would actually unthread into the engine mount, and it required removal of the mount. The mic is not plugged in. Is that entire
since we checked that clip.
Well, check the audio on it.
No, and redo it.
Redo it all?
Should.
Dude. All right, what else we got in here? Oh, I know what this is. Dude, this is like Christmas. I don't know about you guys, but it's not often that I buy this many parts for a car at once. But I've got a deadline to make, and we gotta get this happening, man. We gotta get it going. When your mom buys you the Christmas gift that you wanted and you knew you were getting it, but you kind of forgot. So this is a Mid-Sump Swap Oil Pan with a trapdoor and a baffle. I've heard that you can use the OEM oil pan for the F-body with the E36 swap, but you know, this is made for the swap, and I have a feeling that this is going to make my life easier. Damn, look at this thing. It's a pretty nice piece. I need more table space. So what's in this box might be arguably one of the most important pieces to the puzzle. It's certainly one of the more pricey ones, but there's really just no way around it. Contained within this box is a set of stainless long tube headers specifically designed for the E36 LS1 swap. Unlike other cars, the stock exhaust manifolds for LS do not work with E36, and so some type of header option is required to do the swap. Now there's a few different companies that make it, but the Siki ones look really, really good, and I've heard really good things about them. They'll certainly give me a little boost in power, which I guess doesn't hurt, and they're gonna look really good in the car. Damn. These things are nice looking. They got V-bands at the bottom. Makes it really easy to take off the mid-pipe. Awesome. So I didn't even have the idea to LS swap my car until my engine went. And that was basically, what day was that? What was the last day of Drift Week? April 25th. And so it's kind of crazy from concept to reality to see all these parts arrive, the engine is out of my car, and basically I need to take this and this and this and combine the three before August 7th. So I'm actually hosting a drift event in August in Southern Oregon at a place called Affinity Circuit. Many of you may know of the track from the Bash to the Future events. I have an all-star cast of about 40 drivers that were all either invited or reached out to me privately. I actually sold the event out in about 40 minutes. And at the time, my car was running perfect, and I was not expecting to be deep in the throes of a complete overhaul of my car. But that's about as good a motivation as you could ever get to get a car finished, so I'm really confident that we're gonna get it done. I do have other cars, but it really would mean the most to me to get that one done and ready for that event. That's like my main car. It's definitely the most fun one I have to drive, and with a little bit of LS power, it's gonna be even more fun. I absolutely have to make mention of this amazing livery that my buddy Ian from Factory 83 put on the car. I had a couple of rules. I said I wanted monochromatic, I wanted an Autohändler script logo on the side, and I wanted a Decra style DTM number plate with the number 11. I left the rest up to him, and he absolutely turned it out. It is by far my favorite livery that I've ever had on any race car that I've built. And if you guys know me from the past, I used to have a pretty well-known RX-7 that also had a really cool livery, but I feel like this one is just way more me. I'm really, really hyped on it, so thank you, Ian. I cannot wait to work with you again soon. So that pretty much does it for today's video. It is our first video, so bear with us. We're gonna be making a bunch more content as the summer progresses. I cannot wait to make some drifting content and get our cars out to the track, introduce the other cars that you guys haven't seen yet to you, and to make some progress on those builds as well. My primary focus right now is definitely going to be getting that LS into the E36, so stay tuned, and we're going to get that thing in come hell or high water before August 7th, because there's no way that I'm going to show up to my own drift event without a car to drive. Huge thank you to Drift HQ, PMC, and Siki Manufacturing for partnering with me on this. I gave them very short notice in terms of getting this done. I mean, 3 months is a pretty low amount of time to have parts prepared and shipped from all over the world, actually. So thank you guys so much. I promise I will make you proud and get that thing in there, and we will get some drifting done. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later.